You could be the most desired wolf in the forest and still believe you are nothing more than another old tree standing there. Because while you hesitate and doubt yourself, they are already watching you. Not for how you look on the surface, but for the energy you give off without speaking. The attraction of an older man is never loud or desperate. It stays in the air. It shows in the way you enter a room, in how you do not rush, and in how you never beg anyone to stay. And yet, so many men in their 40s, 50s, even their 60s still believe their best years are gone. They tell themselves that younger women only want youth, muscles, emojis, filters, and noise. That idea is false. What many younger women are quietly searching for is exactly what you have been building for decades, but you still do not know how to use it to your advantage. Today, I am going to reveal 7 invisible signs that prove you are far more attractive than you believe. And when you reach the last one, you won't just understand it in your mind, you will feel it in your body. I am Celia, and this is your House of Wisdom. Stay with me until the end, because after this message, you will not look at yourself in the mirror the same way again. Have you ever noticed how a room becomes quieter when you walk in, but you can't tell if it is respect or simple indifference? Have you ever felt that brief look from a younger woman? The one that lasts only a couple of seconds but leaves something unfinished in the air, and later you wonder if it meant anything at all or if you imagined it. You did not imagine it. The problem is not that it isn't happening. The problem is that you were never taught how to read the language of masculine mystery. And that language, brother, you already speak it every day without realizing it. You are just not using it with awareness. You have reached the first realization here, and it is this: your silence draws them in. In a world where younger men do not know how to be quiet, where everything is shouted online, where every emotion is displayed like cheap goods in a market, you have something rare. You have presence, you have stillness, you have calm, you have the ability to listen without interrupting, to look without rushing, to avoid filling the space with empty words. Even if you think this is a weakness, even if you believe it means you have lost your social edge, it is actually your strongest asset. Because silence is not emptiness. Silence is authority, silence is control, silence is knowing you do not need to prove yourself. And a young woman feels that immediately. Think about this scene. A group of younger men are sitting at a table talking loudly, laughing too hard, moving their hands everywhere, competing for attention like restless boys. Then a man in his 50s walks in without hurry. He sits down calmly. He does not interrupt anyone. He simply observes. Within a few minutes, someone is already aware of him. A younger woman has noticed him. Why? Because he is not asking for attention. He is pulling it in, because he is not oversharing, because he is not trying to win, because he owns the moment without forcing it. Silence, when it comes from an older man with lived experience, is not weakness. It is a statement. It says everything without saying anything at all. A young woman who is used to men falling apart over a message or an Instagram view feels unsettled by a man who does not need to show off. A man who has already lived, already failed, already lost, and already rebuilt himself. But you do not notice this effect because you are still holding on to the idea that being attractive means doing more, talking more, or proving more. You were sold the lie that noise equals power. In truth, real power never interrupts. It simply occupies space. And you carry that power in your steady eyes, in the pause before you speak, in the way you move without rushing. That is the energy that disarms them, confuses them, and excites them. A younger woman may receive 1,000 compliments in one day, but she will spend the night thinking about the one man who saw her clearly and said nothing. This is where you return to your center. This is where you stop competing with men half your age for likes and attention and realize that what you give off cannot be posted or filtered. It can only be felt. And when you learn to sit comfortably in your silence, when you stop filling it with explanations, when you stop apologizing for your age or your calm nature, you begin to become the man who does not just attract interest but commands it. The woman who truly matters is not searching for noise. She is searching for presence. And if you can hold your silence without fear, she won't pull away. She will move closer because she finally feels she is standing in front of a man, not a boy pretending to be one. That quiet presence, that contained energy a younger woman senses, even when you do not show it openly, means nothing if you lose yourself at the first smile, compliment, or playful look. True mystery isn't only about being quiet. It is about not reacting. And this brings us to the next realization. You are not dazzled, and that deeply attracts them. Most men, especially younger ones, emotionally collapse in front of a beautiful woman. Their voice changes, their posture shifts, they laugh too quickly, they agree with things they do not even understand. They become obedient not out of love but out of fascination. And when a woman notices that her presence knocks you off balance, she may enjoy the attention, but she slowly loses respect. Real feminine desire does not grow from desperation. It grows from challenge. As an older man, you have the ability and the responsibility not to fall into the trap of fascination. Psychology is clear about this. Whatever you place on a pedestal gains control over you. If you worship a younger woman simply because she is attractive or youthful, you give away the authority you earned through years of life experience. A man who is dazzled shows that he still does not know himself, that he is still trying to fill an old emptiness with approval. But you are past that stage. You have lived enough to understand that a woman can be beautiful and still not be your center. She can attract you and still not deserve you. This is the difference between impulsive desire and selective desire. And this difference does not just make you stronger, it makes you magnetic. Ancient wisdom spoke about controlled indifference, about not reacting to surface beauty, but evaluating with depth, about never trading your dignity for a moment of validation. Because a man who is dazzled may be useful, but he will never be unforgettable. When a woman notices that you can stand near her beauty without losing your balance, without becoming awkward, without trying to impress her, something inside her shifts. She relaxes. She becomes curious. She is used to creating reactions, not meeting men who can see her clearly without surrendering themselves. And even if she never says it, that unsettles her in a good way. It excites her because it is unfamiliar. You are showing her a man who desires without needing, who is interested without being dependent. If you haven't experienced this yet, it is not because you lack value. It is because you still believe you must impress, entertain, or prove yourself. The truth is the rarest and most powerful form of masculine attraction today is the one that refuses to behave like a fan. It is the man who looks at beauty the way he looks at nature, appreciative but not controlled by it. That is your strength, that you do not need validation, that you can stand in front of a younger woman, admire her, and still remain grounded. When you do this, the entire dynamic changes. She begins to seek your attention. She feels the urge to earn your interest. Without words, you have shown her that you are no longer here to chase, but to choose. And that doesn't just attract, it disrupts the pattern she is used to. It makes you impossible to ignore. So far, we have uncovered two invisible forces: your silence, which pulls them in, and your steadiness, which throws them off balance. Now we move into something even deeper, something that does not just create attraction but demands respect. This is where everything shifts. You carry scars, and those scars ignite something powerful in them. These are not the obvious scars you turn into stories or jokes. These are the quiet ones. The losses, the disappointments, the moments that reshaped you, the experiences etched into your eyes, your posture, your calm during chaos. A younger woman may notice a body or a smile, but she bonds with a man who has survived, a man who has fallen and stood back up, a man who has known silence, loneliness, and rebuilding. That man does not talk about life in theory. He has lived it fully, and that truth shows even when he says nothing. Those emotional scars, when carried with dignity, make you different. You are not brand new. You are refined. You are rebuilt. And that carries a weight that youth cannot fake. Psychology explains this clearly. The female mind, especially in young adulthood, searches for signs of emotional maturity, stability, and depth. One of the clearest signs is a man who has been tested by life and did not become bitter. A man who understands pain without being ruled by it. A man who remains grounded when things go wrong. When a woman senses this, she feels safe and intrigued at the same time. Safety, because you are not reactive or fragile. Intrigue, because she cannot read you easily. You do not overshare. You do not rush intimacy. You do not seek sympathy. And that balance creates something rare. Respect mixed with desire. She may not fully understand why she feels drawn to you, but she feels it deeply. Your scars tell her that you can handle pressure, that you won't break under emotion, that you are solid when life becomes unpredictable. And here is what you must understand. You do not need to talk about your past to show this. You do not need to explain what you have been through. Your calm does it for you. Your patience speaks for you. Your boundaries reveal everything. The way you do not chase, the way you do not beg, the way you do not collapse when things do not go your way. All of this communicates strength far louder than words ever could. Many men hide their scars out of shame, but when you carry them quietly without bitterness, they become your signature. They become the proof that you are not fragile, that you are not naive, that you have earned your peace. And that energy is deeply attractive because it cannot be taught quickly. It can only be lived. You may think younger women do not notice this. They do. Even if they do not consciously understand it, their nervous system responds to it. They feel calmer around you, more curious, more present, because on some level they recognize a man who has already faced storms and learned how to stand afterward. And that recognition pulls them in stronger than any compliment ever could. By now, you should see it clearly. You were never invisible. You were just unaware of your power, your silence, your steadiness, your scars. All of it has been working in your favor while you doubted yourself. And this is only the beginning of what you carry. When you finally stop seeing yourself as outdated and start seeing yourself as seasoned, everything changes. The way you walk changes, the way you speak changes, the way others respond to you changes, and once that shift happens inside you, the world has no choice but to respond to it on the outside. Resilience is the ability to walk through fire and not come out destroyed, but shaped, strengthened, and refined. It is when you can speak calmly about your failures, when you are no longer embarrassed by your divorces, your losses, your wrong choices, or your mistakes. It is when you stop hiding what you have lived through and instead turn it into understanding and wisdom. At that point, you become something most men never become, an emotional anchor, not because you feel nothing, but because you are no longer unstable. You still feel deeply, but you do not collapse under pressure. You no longer react from wounds, you respond from awareness. Here is a real strategy you can start using today. Stop polishing your past. Stop mentioning only your victories. Stop acting like your life has been flawless. Begin speaking honestly, not with emotion overload, not with drama, but with depth and calm truth. When a personal moment shows up, instead of exchanging surface-level stories, soften your voice and talk about what pain taught you, what you learned about yourself when everything fell apart. Do not speak to impress, speak to expose your core. Show that the man you are today was not an accident. He was built through experience, reflection, and growth. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine you are on a date with a younger woman. She asks why you never remarried. You could avoid the question, you could laugh it off, you could change the subject, or you could calmly say, because I once chose from fear of being alone, and now I choose dignity over empty company. With that mix of intrigue and provocation that only happens when something sparks in the air, imagine if instead of owning the moment like a man, you interrupt it with an awkward comment like, "We should do this more often." Or imagine being on a trip together and right there, without realizing it, you lose your balance because you start selling tomorrow instead of holding the now. You did not mean harm. You did it because you assumed showing stability is the same as showing connection. But it is not. You only revealed anxiety. And for a woman, craving intensity, it feels like a cold shower. Most mature men make this mistake without noticing. They come from broken relationships, fragmented homes, failed promises, and when they sense even a flicker of connection, they try to turn it into structure. As if having a plan guarantees desire, but desire cannot be scheduled. It is felt, it is experienced. And when you fill the present with future expectations instead of inhabiting it with power, you are running. You are trying to control something that only awakens when you are fully present. No distractions, no agendas. A young woman does not need you to promise her stability on the first encounter. She is not looking for vows before she even knows who you are. What draws her in and what keeps her thinking about you is your ability to give yourself entirely to the moment, for every conversation to carry weight, for every glance to feel like contained fire, for your silence not to create doubt, but gravity. And that, my friend, isn't achieved by talking about the future. It happens when you breathe fully into the present, knowing you do not need to offer anything more than who you already are. Men who do not grasp this become providers of security, but not creators of desire. They offer emotional safety, but do not ignite fantasy. They end up in functional relationships, neat, orderly, and polite, but cold, where nothing truly vibrates. And later they wonder why she pulled away, why she stopped reaching out, why she no longer touches them with passion. It was not because you failed as a partner. It was because you failed as a living man, as presence, as intensity. You were safe but forgettable. The visual is simple yet powerful. Imagine she is standing in front of you. The air is charged. The moment is asking for something. And instead of rushing her into some imagined tomorrow, you choose to own the now. Not with words, but with energy, with a steady gaze, with a perfect pause, with a silence that excites her. Because you understand that real impact does not lie in promises. It lies in what you provoke. And if you can provoke without pleading, without selling, without jumping ahead in the script, You are no longer just another man. You are the one her body will remember. So stop chasing guarantees, stop planning futures, stop building castles before creating tension. A man who inhabits the now with full presence does not need to offer anything else. He is already giving everything, his intensity, his fire, his truth. And when delivered without anxiety, it is unforgettable. If you understand, it is not about promising, but provoking. You are already close to becoming the kind of man who does not need to explain himself. A man who does not hide behind stability to be accepted because he knows his intensity is enough. But there is one final frontier, an invisible line separating those who have it all from those who lose it without knowing why. That line isn't in what you do, it is in what you do not do when you know you should. Your detachment is both poison and antidote. Do you know what shakes a young woman the most, especially one used to being the center of attention? A man who does not need her, a man who desires her, yes, who admires her, who connects deeply but does not rely on her presence to feel complete. That throws her off because she is not facing a fan, she is facing an equal. And that kind of detachment, when real, is your most untamed power. It is not coldness. It is not indifference. It is presence with freedom. It is knowing that if she walks away, you are still yourself, unshaken, unapologetic, unbroken, but you cannot fake this. If detachment is used as a tactic to manipulate, it will fail. It will fail. True detachment only works when you have built a life that you actually enjoy living, with or without someone else's approval. When a younger woman senses that you are not holding your breath waiting for her text, she feels a strange mix of peace and urgency. She feels peace because she isn't responsible for your happiness, and urgency because she realizes she has to bring value to your life to stay in it. This is the ultimate shift in power. You are no longer the one auditioning for a role in her life. She is the one wondering if she fits into yours. Most men think they need to show off their car, their money, or their status to prove they have a good life. But an older man with true power doesn't need to show anything. He just has to be. He has to be the man who can walk away from a bad deal, a bad conversation, or a bad relationship without looking back. That is the kind of strength that is impossible to ignore. It is the strength of a man who knows his own worth. And when you finally see that worth in yourself, you won't need to look for it in anyone else's eyes. You will see it every time you look in the mirror. You will feel it in every step you take. You will know it in every word you speak. This is the house of wisdom, and you are the master of your own soul. Don't ever forget that you are the prize. You are the one they have been waiting for. You are the man who knows how to be silent, how to be steady, and how to be real. And that is the most attractive thing in the world. It will fail. Real detachment only works when you have built a life that you actually enjoy living, with or without someone else's approval. When a younger woman senses that you are not holding your breath waiting for her text, she feels a strange mix of peace and urgency. She feels peace because she is not responsible for your happiness, and urgency because she realizes she has to bring value to your life to stay in it. This is the ultimate shift in power. You are no longer the one auditioning for a role in her life. She is the one wondering if she fits into yours. Most men think they need to show off their car, their money, or their status to prove they have a good life. But an older man with true power does not need to show anything. He just has to be. He has to be the man who can walk away from a bad deal, a bad conversation, or a bad relationship without looking back. That is the kind of strength that is impossible to ignore. It is the strength of a man who knows his own worth. And when you finally see that worth in yourself, you won't need to look for it in anyone else's eyes. You will see it every time you look in the mirror. You will feel it in every step you take. You will know it in every word you speak. This is the house of wisdom, and you are the master of your own soul. Do not ever forget that you are the prize. You are the one they have been waiting for. You are the man who knows how to be silent, how to be steady, and how to be real. And that is the most attractive thing in the world. This journey of self-discovery does not end with just knowing these signs. It begins when you start living them. It is about the small choices you make when no one is looking. It is about the way you treat yourself when things are quiet. When you stop seeking external validation, you become an immovable force. People will notice the change in your posture and the clarity in your gaze. They will wonder what your secret is, but you won't feel the need to explain it. Your life becomes your message. You become a lighthouse for those who are lost in the noise. And in that space of total self-acceptance, you find a freedom that youth can never buy. You are not just surviving your later years, you are finally coming into your full power. The forest is yours, and you are finally ready to lead.